This is the story of a pioneering entrepreneur who rose to all challenges in life and still had enough energy to last another lifetime. This is a sincere endeavor to convey his values and wisdom that inspired so many, in the hopes that it would continue to inspire many more. This is the story of S.R. Pophale, born in 1942, just before the independence, in a small village of Maharashtra called Malegaon. Shrikant lost his father at a very tender age of 12. His mother left Malegaon and moved to Pune for a better future. Sports and engineering were two of his biggest passions, impressing everyone with academic brilliance and leadership in sports. And despite many challenges, he enrolled in the prestigious College of Engineering, Pune.
He was playing basketball, athletics. I was playing volleyball. We played for our schools. We played for SP College. We played for COAP.
When he finished, in immediate need of a job, recession had hit the market, and the job security of an Air Force officer was very lucrative.
He joined Air Force as a pilot officer immediately after his graduation in engineering from mechanical engineering. No doubt, his daredevil nature might have induced him to take such a big course, such a different course. But obviously, even though he was suitable for anything, he was really not meant for such routine or that type of defense work.
Still looking for a job without many choices, he got an opportunity to teach engineering at his alma mater, College of Engineering, Pune.
तर ते आले एक दिवस, बिझनेस चालूच होता, नोकरी पण चालू होती आणि म्हणाले की काही नाही, आज राजीनामा देऊन आलो मी. तर मला काळजी वाटली की आता दुसरी मुलगी झाली आहे आणि आता म्हणजे कसं काय होणार आपलं. आणि मग ते म्हणाले, "नाही, नाही, काळजी अजिबात करू नकोस तू. मी नाही व्यवसाय चालला माझा, नाही धंदा चालला, तर मी हे करीन म्हणे, क्लास चालवीन. पण तुला मी मुलींना घेऊन माहेरी पाठवणार नाही." त्यांच्या या बोलण्यातला आत्मविश्वास, निश्चय, खंबीर वृत्तीने घेतलेला निर्णय खरंच आश्चर्यकारक होता आणि पुढे ते त्यांनी सिद्धही केले.
He had started Electronica over 50 years ago in 1971 with two founding directors, Ratnapake brothers. He left college in 1973 to devote full time to the business of Electronica.
Starting a business while holding the job of a professor meant working twice as hard. But soon, the efforts started to pay off.
At a very, very early age, in fact, at the age of maybe 32, he started the business of EDM. And within 3-4 years, they realized that to upgrade the technology of the machine and to take it to the next level, we must take some inputs. And it was a completely out of the box idea of Mr. Pophale, that he said we should contact the Swiss manufacturer Aji Shamils. At that time it was Aji from Switzerland, and he wrote a letter to the chairman of Aji that we are developing this particular technology and this product in India, and will you be in a position to help us to upgrade our technology? It was such a surprise to the chairman of Aji that they called him for a meeting.
Collaboration with Aji of Switzerland was signed up in 1978 to produce one state-of-the-art EDM machine model, EMS-15, in India.
We used to spend the whole night at the factory while testing the machine to ensure that the results were coming as per the requirement, as per the guidelines set by AG. The first 5 machines of AG, this AG model EMS-15, which we delivered to a very well-known customer, Bajaj, Godrej, GKW, Indica, and Vidya. And these have been the turning points for the success of, Electronica. And SRP used to personally interact with the customers to understand the difficulty. Also, they used to give us the support for that.
How a fledgling startup company managed to talk it over with the AG, the number one company in the world, speaks volumes of the far-reaching vision and nothing is impossible attitude of Pophale.
Sort of innovation out-of-the-box thinking, and his belief that anything is achievable with the right ideas and hard work was really what set him apart. His innovation was channeled not only in sales, marketing, and strategy, but also in research and development at Electronica.
The trust with the customer was so high and people were happy with the service. So many of the customers, they started discussing with the team that why can't you give some other products like machining centers or CNC lathes, which Electronica is not manufacturing at the moment. They said, okay, we will definitely find a solution. And that's how in 1985, that was the starting of machine tool trading business. Lot of efforts were done in educating the customers, training the customers, and that's how the machine tool trading business got established.
After selling over 150 machines across the country, we hit a brick wall by way of depreciated yen and increased customs duty due to the scarce foreign exchange reserves of the government, making further sales impossible. This is the time we decided to develop the machine ourselves. Atmanirbhar, what is the catchphrase today, was not yet spoken then, but we practiced it. The decision to crack the technology and develop the product was one path-breaking decision taken by Mr. Pophale. We went on to make over 2,000 machines in the next decade or so and launched the machine in export markets. Where there is a will, there is a way, is the lesson given in the process.
SRP sir was a visionary leader who had ability to think out of the box, have many creative ideas, and very, very effectively delegating the activities and getting the things done from his team. If you see his vision, he was always saying that whenever there is a pain area of the customer or need of the customer, if you can identify that, there is a opportunity for growth, opportunity of business. It can be any area of the business.
He was a real visionary who worked on changing the lives of small business owners as he solved some of their biggest engineering and financial challenges. He founded many companies and diversified into different industries. But innovation remained a core value of Electronica Group even till today.
I joined EFL and this was my first job. And I used to think sometimes that how come a parent company who is into machine manufacturing has started their own finance company. Whenever they used to go to the customers in the smaller segment, MSME, that time lot of the customers used to say that we are definitely interested in buying the machine, but then we don't have money. And that time, about 25, 28 years back, getting loan from a bank was not that easy at all. It was quite difficult. It used to take a lot of time. And that is why SRP sir thought that why don't we have our own finance company? And this is how EFL was born.
Basically, we are in an unserved priority sector, that is MSME sector, which is the bottom of the pyramid as far as the industry is concerned, where the maximum employment takes place, is a good contribution to the manufacturing sector, GDP, is a good contribution to the export. And that is why we believe that we are really serving the base at the economy. And if that base gets invigorated or starts working, it will definitely aid the economy to grow faster. So we think that we are doing a very great contribution in terms of the economic activity of the country.
His style was also full delegation, complete delegation, and 100% trust on the people he was working with. And that 100% trust was again translated into developing various new businesses which were geographically widely spread in various locations, in various business ideas. So that was the most important aspect which I have seen, that passion to build something, passion to develop new businesses, new ideas, work on innovation. That was something which was very predominant. His energy level was very high, and that is, I think, again, one of the most important parameters of any business. If the energy level at the leadership position is very high, then that energy gets translated, and that energy gets transformed into the business ideas.
I have been talking about this for ages. Whatever you're doing, you enjoy. And that's the key. That's the only key. If you keep on enjoying, then energy comes. It's automatic. So whatever I have been doing, I've been selling, marketing, developing something, R&D. I have always enjoyed. I never had money as a motivator to me at any point of time. So I have been saying that let's try it out. As an entrepreneur, nobody gives you something written on the slate that okay, do this, and you will succeed. It's not like that. You try. And maybe that is that basic entrepreneurial capacity. Maybe because of that, I kept on trying and that I kept on enjoying.
After a relatively amicable dissolution of the partnership, the SRP Electronica Group went through major changes, but the core values of Mr. Pophale and the people loyal to him were inviolable, and challenges were overcome.
Another thing which again I have felt and I have admired about him a lot is his optimism. Absolutely 100% optimistic at all times. We have seen so many challenges in businesses, so many ups and downs in the businesses, but that optimism, that 100% belief on the business you are in, or 100% belief on the purpose with which you are working, because purpose of the business is always beyond the profit motive.
30 years for a human being may be a little long period, but for an organization, 30 years is not very long in the sense of organization survival. We have survived for 30 years basically because we have stuck very clearly with our conservative approach, whether it is acquiring customers, whether it is getting money from banks or outside. We had always been very truthful. We never took excessive risk. We have always played the game in a fair way. We have not done anything which many of the organizations have done to build up the book at any cost. We said that we had been conservative, so we will not build the book at any cost. We will have a natural growth coming in. And this has stood us all the time for 30 years. And I think this kind of a basic principles of organizational behavior will help us. And I think the organization will be able to go to maybe 100 years. We believe that business done in an ethical and transparent manner not only sustains but grows over a long period of time. Mahatma Gandhi used to say that the resources given by the society to a business are the resources given in trust. We believe in this philosophy. When resources are received in trust, we have to really look at the way we do business. We have to do business in such a way that there is no place for greed in the business. When the growth of business comes or we increase the business, it should be devoid of greed.
If you had to take away anything, I'll say this. The warrior monk, which is the ability to deal with uncertainty in life, to have principles, but to actually understand they don't live in separate, completely disjoint compartments, but actually live them together. The balance and the belief in balance to do that requires openness, humility, and just the warmth and understanding that you're a human being before you're anything else. And if you do all of these, and if you can do, let's say, 1% of what SRP did, to all of us who are trying to learn from his example and emulate him, I think, well, you've made it.
जे सामान्य यशस्वी उद्योजकाला यशस्वी होण्यासाठी जे गुण लागतात ते तर त्यांच्याकडे होतेच. ते म्हणजे सातत्य, कष्टाळूपणा, अतिशय नियमितपणा, अतिशय काटेकोर डिसिप्लिन त्यांच्यामध्ये होती. हे सगळे गुण त्यांना नंतर जेव्हा स्वामीजी भेटले तेव्हा ते सर्व गुण त्यांनी परमार्थामध्ये लावले आणि परमार्थामध्ये देखील त्यांनी साधना तितक्याच कसोशीने, तितक्याच प्रामाणिकपणे केली आणि स्वामीजींच्या खूप जवळ त्यामुळे ते गेले. या सगळ्या गुणांनी ते स्वामीजींचे अत्यंत लाडके झाले.
At the age of 40, he met Swami Madhavnath, a spiritual teacher, a true sage who gave talks based on Indian spiritual texts and stars aligned. Mr. Pophale recognized the truth when he heard it and began to tread the path of realizing that truth with the grace of his newfound Sadguru.
पोफळे काकांचा अप्रोच सुरुवातीला तर बुद्धिवादी होता. कुठली गोष्ट पारखून घेतल्याखेरीज ते कधी मान्य करत नसत. तसंच त्यांच्यामध्ये एक विश्लेषक बुद्धी होती. कुठल्याही गोष्टीचं लॉजिकल विश्लेषण त्यांना आवडायचं. अनालिटिकल अप्रोच होता. आणि एवढं सगळं करत असताना त्यांना ध्यानाविषयी अत्यंतिक गोडी होती. त्यांचा कर्मनिष्ठ स्वभाव होता. कर्मनिष्ठ स्वभाव होता, विश्लेषक बुद्धी होती, करायची तयारी होती आणि चिकाटी भरपूर होती. कष्ट करायची देखील साधने करता कष्ट करायची देखील पुरेपूर तयारी होती. आणि या सगळ्याचा उपयोग त्यांनी करून घेतला असं मला वाटतं. मला असं आठवतं की शेवटचे काही महिने ते मला म्हणायला लागले की तुम्ही म्हणता ते मला जमायला लागलं. आता वृत्तीरहित शांत मी होतो आहे असं माझ्या लक्षात येतं. आता मला ध्यानाचं समाधान मिळू लागलेलं आहे. आता मला एकरूपतेचं समाधान थोडं बहुत मिळतं आहे. आता मला तो ब्रह्माचा अनुभव काय आहे तो घेण्याची इच्छा आहे. आणि तो कसा असतो ते तुम्ही मला सांगा आणि अजून एक धक्का द्या. पण प्रत्येक वेळेला ते मला असं म्हणायचे की तुम्ही म्हणता ते मला आता समजू लागलेलं आहे.
Unhappy employees cannot give you results. Results will come only when people working are happy, they are satisfied, they enjoy their work, and you have to help them to enjoy the work. All our Vedic prayers, you know many Vedic prayers. How do you end? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. What is that? 3 times it is being hammered on you that what is most important in life is Shanti. And if you have that, then nothing else matters. Nothing else really matters. You find out yourself, you will analyze your own psychology, and you will understand that if you are really seeking for peace of mind, all around you, nothing matters. Everything, you can enjoy yourself in any situation.
When I saw him first, the straight impression which occurred in my mind was that he was a very upright kind of a person. His body language was very confident, but at the same time, he was having a great faith in saints, which is very unusual for me. Because I have seen many accomplished people in their life, many industrialists or, many professors. Or what happens over period is that they lose faith. They become so independent, so self-confident that they don't feel like prostrating in front of a saint or guru or whatever. They just disagree with this concept. But in case of Pophale Sahib or Pophale Kaka, it was completely reverse. He was very confident. He was very successful when I met him. He had become very accomplished. He was quite famous in the business circles of city like Pune. But at the same time, he was extremely humble in front of my Guruji, Swami Madhavnath.
Shrikant R. Pophale lived a life full of joy and touched millions of people through his path-breaking entrepreneurial journey. He was a warrior, a leader, and an entrepreneur par excellence on one side, and a dedicated family man, a devoted spiritual seeker on the other. He walked on this path of balance with apparent ease. Shrikant R. Pophale is no longer among us, but his legacy continues to guide people in the ever-changing world. His words of wisdom and his repeated insistence to enjoying work has been ingrained in the hearts of everyone who knew him.
एखाद्या हिऱ्याला अनेक पैलू असतात आणि त्यातला प्रत्येक पैलू हा तितकाच तेजस्वी आणि तितकाच चमकदार असतो. तसंच माझ्या बाबांचं जीवन प्रत्येक पैलूनी, प्रत्येक अंगाने परिपूर्ण, चमकदार आणि तेजस्वी असं होतं.
I think the only way to take his legacy forward is to enjoy what I do and trust that the results will come on their own. And even if they don't, that's all right, because that's the thing that he told me again and again, the teaching of Karma Yoga, which is to not expect the fruit and enjoy the work that you are doing.